Hello students, I welcome you all to the online lecture. So today we are going to see the introduction of topic 9.4, characteristic of organism. So we are going to see what we will learn in the further lecture. So let's start. We went on a journey through different habitats and discussed many plants and animals, right? We have discussed the habitats of desert, of forest, of mountains, and in aquatic, of oceans and of lake, right? Terrestrial, non-terrestrial, saline and freshwater habitats. Moving further, in activity number 1, we listed objects, plants and animals found in different surroundings. So, in the starting of the lecture, we have seen activity number 1, in which we have listed some of the objects, right? Suppose we stop a while and think which examples in our list are living. So, you all know what is living and what is non-living things. We know that humans, animals, birds all are livings, and the examples of non-living are chair, fan, table, etc. So, these all are non-living things. But there is one confusion in this also. Let's see that. Let us think of an example from a forest. Trees, creepers, small and big animals, birds, snakes, insects, rocks, soil, water, air, dry leaves, dead animals, mushrooms and moss may be only some of the objects that are present in the forest. So here there are many examples which are the objects which are present in the forest. So now you have to tell which of these are living. So now it is somewhat difficult. We know that trees are living, right? So trees, creepers, small and big animals, all are livings, but there is sort of confusion sometimes. Think of an object that you can see around you at this moment, okay? Wherever you are present in a room, then just see around you and group them as a living and non-living. In some cases, it is easy for us to know. For example, we know that objects like chairs and tables are alive, not alive, sorry. Bailey was reading this rhyme from a complete nonsense written by Edward Laird. So, you can see this poem, okay? If you wish, you can read this in your homework, okay? This is a poem and it is a conversation between a table and chair. Both table and chair are non-living things, but in this poem, the poet has written the conversation between table and chair. Okay, so it seems to be very funny, right? So Paheli and Bojo found the poem very funny because they knew that a chair or a table is not alive and it cannot talk or walk, right? Chair, table, stone, or a coin are not alive. Similarly, we do not know that we are alive, and so are all people of this world. We also see animals around us that are so full of life: dogs, cats, monkeys, squirrels, insects, and many others. So, in a broader way, we can classify, but if we go in a deep, then there will be some sort of confusion between the living or non-living things. How do we know that something is living? Okay, so if someone asks you that, how can you know that this thing is living or not? Then which are the key criteria you are going to see that for a living being or a living thing? Often it is not so easy to decide. We are told that plants are living, right? We all know that plants are living, but they do not move like a dog or a pigeon or like a human being, right? On the other hand, a car or a bus can move. Still, we consider them as a non-living thing. So we cannot differentiate the non-living things and living things according to the movement. Okay, if we say that if something is moving, then it is living thing. No, that is not possible. Car is also moving, but it is not living thing. So we cannot differentiate on the basis of movement. Plants and animals appears to grow in a size with time. But then at time, cloud in the sky also seem grows in the size. Okay, if we differentiate or if we want to differentiate according to size, then also it is wrong, because human beings, plants, animals with time grow in a size. Similarly, cloud also grow, or cloud size also increase with the time. But cloud is non-living thing. So we cannot differentiate on the basis of the growth also. So first, on the movement, we cannot differentiate. Second, on the base of growth, we cannot differentiate. But then cloud in the sky also seem to grow in the size. Okay. Does it mean that cloud are living? No. So how does one distinguish between living and non-living things? Do living things have some common characteristic that make them very different from non-living things? Okay. So here, moving further, you are a wonderful example of living being. Okay, we all are wonderful example of living beings. What characteristic do you have which make you different from a living things? Okay, now you can think of some of the special characteristic we living things have. Okay, so first thing is we have feelings. Okay, the best example we can take is the feelings. List a few of these characteristics in your notebook. So today you have to list some of the special characteristic you think you have or we have that differentiate us from living beings, from non-living beings. Okay, look at your list and mark those characteristics that you have listed, which may also be found in animals or plants. Some of these characteristics are perhaps common to all living things. Okay, so in the further lecture, we will continue from this topic. Do all organisms need food? Right? Thank you.